episode of Playing in Traffic takes me to what this area is called the Grassy Sound. And the quick backstory here would be, so prior to the what I call the North Wildwood Bridge, I believe that's what it is right here. Prior to that being built, up a little higher. Prior to that being built, this road right here was the road that you would enter Wildwood on. This is Route 147 over here. It originally was here. And so what would happen is you would, this used to be, what we're standing on right here, this grass, was what we would call the Rickety Bridge. And it was a wooden bridge. And you could see, and we're going to go over there to check that spot out as well. You could see the other side of the bridge. You could see that part standing. And this was the west side of it. And that would be the east side of it. And that bridge, I think I could find a picture to post, was a icon of sorts in this area. Like, and that's going to be the purpose of today's episode, is going to be what it was like approaching this part of your drive, say if you were going on vacation and using this road. The way it looked, I mean, there's still some parts of it that remain. You can see the pier, the bridge over there. That's actually used as a fishing pier. I've been on that a few times. And the properties that are in here. I remember my mom, when she moved down to, when she was living in North Wildwood, one of the properties that she did see was in here, in the Grassy Sound. I love this old sign here. Right here. Grassy Sound. And that is no trespassing, so I kind of did respect that. And yeah, and so that was the properties back there. Many years ago, we had a monster hurricane, and one of these properties, that the one at the very end down here, all the way at the end, actually detached and floated away and ended up landing, and I'm gonna see if we can find a picture of that, on the other side of the bridge. It just floated over there. And maybe we'll even see if there's a remnant of that as well over there. I'm not sure if there is or not, but this is what's going on today in Playing in Traffic. The old Route 147 area, and maybe we'll even wander over on the other side to Ocean Drive as well. Very pretty around here. And so here we go. You can imagine, I know it was at least 15, it was probably 20 years ago. It may have been longer than that, when this bridge here was built and this road became not a common highway to get into Wildwood, New Jersey. But I'm going to take you to the end of this road, and these homes are original properties from that time, maybe 60s and 50s. The common shore home was called a millman. Basically a 2-bedroom, one bath. They were small, 500 square feet. But this road, I mean, it was busy. I mean busy, because all your traffic was on this road going into Wildwood. And then you have the properties that still exist, some of them by the skin of their teeth. I mean, it's a very, very sketchy underpart to deal with. You know, you got healthy pylons under there I guess you're good, but it's and it's these bridges for me. The bridges that go out to the back of the house. You got this one right here. This is amazing. It's just so cool looking. And so these are the properties that are left. I remember me and my son, and probably my daughter too as well. I remember there being and I see a pylon back there now on the right. I remember being out there fishing one day, and you had to go through this, and this was probably knee deep of water. For my son, it was a little more than that. And let's just say, you know, there's everything here: greenheads, mosquitoes. You know, a summer day here, there's everything here, and including crabs. And so that was a fun little walk to get there. And I don't even know if we caught anything, but it was just kind of fun to actually wander through it. And this is going to get soft and wet quick, so we're going to go right about here. And you get the idea what that was like heading over there. I don't even know if that pier still exists, but it was fun just sitting on it because we were there by ourselves. It was kind of cool. Very cool. Not kind of, very. Seeing this right here, it looks just like, oh well, big deal, a broken shell. Maybe it came up front with the tide or whatever. No, it didn't. Seagulls actually will pull these out of the bay anywhere around here and drop them right on the shoulder over here and crack them open and eat them. And that's kind of cool. And you can even see how much they were doing that. That's what all this is. All this white stuff is broken seashells. And you can see what where their favorite parts were, where they were doing it. Right along there. So that house floated probably around here. And it sat there for about a year. That one hurricane, I forget what one it was. But it did just sit there. And I don't see that dock that we fished at. I see a pylon out there. That could very well have been it. And that might be Horatio. I'll have to let Braxy be. No, flying away in the distance. Probably the left side of the screen. That seabird. We named one of them Horatio. She did. But yeah, look at this view. This is so pretty, and I think this is why people love living in them homes under the bridge. But to insure them, I don't even know if you can. I don't know if there's a company that would insure those properties. So you kind of just watch it yourself, and just hope for the best. And you know, I did notice one property on the way out. You could tell that they're literally 4 or 5 feet above where the water line's at, and that's probably the desired. That's the way to go there. Off in the distance is West Wildwood, so this would be North Wildwood, Anglesey, you know, North Wildwood here, and then over here is West Wildwood. You can see maybe you can see them trees, and maybe too far. I may even take a trip there today on this episode to show the rail line that crossed all the way across the back bay. That was always a cool spot to hang out back when I used to live down here in the mid to late 80s. Yeah, so just wanted to give you, this is the other side of North Wildwood Avenue, 147. Of course, the The road that I just was riding on is on the other side of 147. This road right here will lead up to the Wildwood Bridge, and I'm not going to be taking that on with this one wheel, the bridge itself, because I'm not very light. Here we go. Seagulls are busy. I love it. But this is the new road they built, and it's been here for a while. But anyone that remembers coming down here at least as late as 1990, I think I remember being on the Rickety Bridge. It was all wood. It was super loud when you rode on it. Oh, look at these birds. I love it. A little puff of, it's like a cloud of bird. See if I can get across this. Of course, this is off season, so this is manageable now. But yeah, this is the new way to get in, or the way it's been for a while. 1990, at some point, I'm going to say this is probably new, but at some point you actually got onto the old 147, and I don't remember it turning like this, so I think this road is fairly new right here. But I would say at some point, right about here, the actual original old 147 was probably right there, and it kind of ran symmetrical with this road right here. This is the actual old Route 147, and anytime you were approaching Wildwood, and of course you'd be, as a kid, you'd be excited. My parents were probably excited. They were on vacation. They were busting their butt all year long, would take vacation. You'd end up at this point, and you just see homes. There goes that one property that I was saying, 3 or 4 feet above, I'm sorry, maybe 8 feet above the water level. But all these houses were here, and they ran the length of the highway that I just crossed. They ran all the way back to, I'm going to say at least a half mile to a half mile distance. Were all these homes. It was all residential along the old Route 147. I never understood how the plumbing worked, like how you had a bathroom and like what that was all about. I heard rumors about it, and I wouldn't even want to repeat them because they sound ridiculous. But I will repeat it. I've heard a guy 10 to 15 years older than me back in the day telling me that they went the bathroom in a hole in the floor. I don't know. I don't know. You know, maybe some of these houses were that jacked up that they did that. I don't know. But just but then imagine as you were approaching this area, this was a bridge, the wooden bridge, and the minute you got on it, say maybe right around here, it was just rattling. You got to look it up on YouTube. There's many videos of people traveling on it, and it's just rattling, and you're just climbing, and then you cross the water, and then drop off on the other side. The old Rickety Bridge location on old Route 147. I guess they call it, this is the Grassy Sound area. That's the residential here in Anglesey, New Jersey, just short of North Wildwood, New Jersey. That would be right over the bridge. So now I'm on the other side of the Route 147, and as you can see, Grassy Sound Marina Pier. I fished on that a handful of times. I remember getting into a ray one time that was running through the channel, and my son, it was me and my son were over here. I got into a ray, caught a ray, you know, and like anyone knows the size of a ray. I don't know what I was thinking, but I had a braided line on my fishing pole, and it just was bzzz, and I was like, wow, I got the biggest fish on earth. And the guy next to me goes, cut your line, dude. And I go, yeah, but I might be able to just cut it. Just cut it, because in the meantime, this whole spool, half the spool's going down the channel down into that direction. And yeah, there's no way you're lifting. You can't lift. Look at the distance between the water line and the top of the pier. You're not even bringing that up, even if you just forget about it. Forget about it. But anyway, you can see this actually looks like the bridge. You can see the yellow line still on it. So this was the other side of the Rickety Bridge, and off in the distance is where we were, and that the front of that is grassy, and so it doesn't look like it was a bridge, but here's the proof right here. This was the other side of the Rickety Bridge, the east side of it, heading into Wildwood, and that would be, of course, going in that direction. And I guess this is old Route 147 too, I believe. So that's about it from here. I just wanted to document what, you know, old Route 147, the Rickety Bridge, a little bit of a clip on Ocean Drive. I kind of like the southern end of Wildwood there, heading into Cape May on Ocean Drive. I'll do that at some point. But yeah, it's hey, all this new highway's been here for 30 years already. Just to remember what it was, what it looked like, what the experiences it was heading across there. I'm a shout out to my boy Sean because he had a, I think it was an El Camino. Of course, I'm going to correct that on here. I will correct that, but that I drove that across the Rickety Bridge one night after we played. I feel like we played a show up at CBGB's up in New York, and he let me drive part of the way. And we had a couple of the guys were in the bay of the, you know, the in the back of the car, exposed to the elements, because it was, I don't know how we did that. I don't know. Hopefully we weren't driving on the highway with them back there. I don't know. But I remember going across that bridge and looking out the window, the back window, because I knew they were going to wake up if they were nodded off, because the Rickety Bridge was loud and it was narrow, and that car was very wide. And I'll post that on here too as well. But cool memories. But yeah, you know what I like a lot? This. There's no birds in it right now, but these nests are always cool. Always got a chance of seeing something nice in there. Maybe they're out hunting. Who knows? But this whole area is pretty. It's always nice. I love seeing it at a full moon, because you could really see no grass at all, and it's kind of like standing here now and seeing that the water is, you know, 5, 6, 7, 8 feet below my feet right now. And then with a full moon, this is full with water and a high tide. It's full, although probably all the way up to here. That'd be a nice thing to see too as well, if you don't see it very often. But there we have it. The old 147 highway. A little bit of the, you know, what is here now and what was here in the past.